Some wounds do not bleed, they just sit quietly inside your chest every time you check your phone and see nothing. Somewhere along the way you forgot that you deserved to be chosen too. Things people smile over, things they step around, things buried under polite conversation. And there are things that sit in the back of your mind at night, the doubts you silence, the red flags you explain away, the ache you convince yourself you are imagining. But what if the most loving thing you could ever do for yourself is to stop looking away? What if the truth, the raw and uncomfortable truth, is not your enemy but your liberation? We live in a world obsessed with comfort. We chase reassurance. We accept half answers. We read into one-word replies and convince ourselves that busy is a good enough reason for someone to disappear from our lives for days. We forgive again and again because we have been told that love is patient and love is kind. But nobody finishes the sentence by saying, love is also honest. The truth is, most of the heartbreak we carry is not caused by the people who hurt us. It is caused by how long we refused to see what they were showing us all along. Today, we are going to talk about 5 truths that sting. 5 truths that might make you uncomfortable, but I promise you this, every single one of these truths, once you accept it fully, will feel less like a wound and more like a door swinging open, a door to clarity, a door to self-respect, a door to a version of your life where you stop chasing people and start choosing yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Are you ready? Let us begin. Whether you are watching this at midnight, unable to sleep, or in the morning, finally ready to heal, comment below, "I stopped waiting." Truth 1. If they wanted you, you would never have to wonder if they wanted you. No one is ever too busy to reply or make time for you. When someone truly wants to, they always find a way. If they keep making excuses, it simply means you are not a priority. Let us start here, with the excuse you have heard most often and believed most deeply. I have been so busy. 4 words. Devastating in their simplicity, because they sound reasonable. They sound human. Everyone is busy, right? Life moves fast. Schedules are packed, and sometimes messages slip through the cracks. This is what we tell ourselves. This is the story we build to protect the people we love from accountability. But here is the truth. No one is ever too busy to do the things that truly matter to them. Think about it. Think about the last time something urgently mattered to you. Not a casual preference, but something that genuinely lit you up inside. Did you find time? Of course you did. You rearranged your day. You stayed up late. You sent that message the moment it crossed your mind because the thought of not sending it felt wrong. That is what true interest looks like. It does not check the clock. It does not postpone. The person who never has time to call you back somehow always has time for the things and people they prioritize. They scroll through social media. They watch their shows. They go out with friends. They live their life fully and comfortably, and somewhere in the gap between all of that, you are waiting. That waiting is not love. It is hope dressed up as patience. Now, let us be fair. Life does get genuinely demanding. There are weeks when work is crushing, when family emergencies erupt, when mental health dips, and everything feels like too much. We must not confuse a temporary rough patch with a pattern. A person going through a genuinely difficult season will tell you, they will acknowledge the distance, they will come back, they will make it right. But what we are talking about is the pattern, the person who is always too busy for you specifically. The one whose availability fluctuates based on their mood, their need for your attention, or how much they want something from you right now. That is not busyness. That is selective presence. And selective presence is a form of emotional rationing, giving you just enough to keep you invested, but never enough to make you feel secure. The hard truth is this: when someone consistently does not make time for you, they are telling you exactly where you stand in their life. Not in words, in action, in the unanswered calls, in the rescheduled plans, in the "I have been meaning to message you" that never actually happens. People make time for what they love, always, without exception. So stop filling in the gaps with excuses on their behalf. Stop inventing stories about how overwhelmed they must be. Let their behavior tell you the truth that their words are too polite to say. You are not asking for too much by wanting consistent effort. You are not needy because you want someone who actually picks up the phone. You are not difficult because you notice when someone has stopped trying. You are simply someone who understands their own worth. And that is not a flaw, that is strength. Seneca reminded us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste most of it. The person who values you will never waste your time. Truth 2. Stop blaming yourself. They knew your worth. They just chose their comfort over your heart. A person protects, values, and invests in what matters to them. If they treat you with indifference or keep you as an option, it is because they do not see your worth. They see your availability. Watch what people protect. Watch what they put effort into, what they handle with care, what they follow up on, what they check on even when they are tired. That list is a map of their real values. Not the values they post about online, not the ones they claim in conversation, their real values. The ones that guide their invisible, unwitnessed choices. Now here is the painful version of that truth. If someone treats you with indifference, if they keep you as an option, if they engage with you only when it is convenient, it is not because they are confused. It is not because they are damaged or afraid or not ready. It is because, on the hierarchy of things that matter to them, you are not near the top. And I want to say this gently but clearly, that is not about your worth. It is about their priorities. These are two very different things. Your worth is not determined by who chooses to see it. A diamond does not become less valuable because someone does not recognize its shine. Think about the things you genuinely value in your own life, your closest friendships. Do you let them wither without effort? The goals that matter most to you, do you go weeks without thinking about them? What you love, the passions that ignite you, are they easy to neglect? No, of course not. What matters gets tended to, and this is where the truth cuts deepest. When someone keeps you as an option, available when they are lonely and ignored when they are not protecting you, they are managing you. There is a profound difference. Being protected means someone considers your feelings before making decisions. It means they do not keep you in limbo. It means they are honest with you even when honesty is uncomfortable. Being managed means someone keeps you close enough to be useful, but not close enough to be accountable. They feed you just enough hope to stop you from walking away because your availability serves a function for them. This is not love. This is convenience wearing love's clothes. Real love looks like someone who shows up before they are needed, who checks in not because they need something, but because you crossed their mind and it felt good to reach out. Who plans with you, not just responds to your plans. The person who sees your worth will make sure you never have to question it for long. They will not leave you decoding their behavior like a puzzle, because people who love you do not make you guess. You deserve to be someone's first thought, not their backup plan. You deserve to be chosen, not tolerated, not entertained, not kept around for comfort while something better is being sought elsewhere. Protect your energy the way you wish they had protected your heart. Epictetus taught us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. You cannot force someone to value you, but you can choose to value yourself. Truth 3. You were online. They were online. The only thing offline was their interest in you. When someone leaves your messages unanswered for hours or days, it is not about time, it is about interest. People always find time for what they truly care about. We live in the most connected era in human history. You carry in your pocket a device that can reach virtually anyone on Earth in seconds. Messages arrive instantly, replies take seconds, and yet there are people who cannot seem to respond to your messages for hours or days or sometimes ever. They are probably just busy. They have a lot going on. Maybe they just are not a texting person. These are the stories we tell, and sometimes they are true. Some people genuinely struggle with their phones. Some people have anxiety around digital communication. But here is where you need to be honest with yourself. Is that the pattern you are seeing? Slow responses to everyone across the board, consistently, or is it slow responses specifically when it comes to you? Because here is the uncomfortable reality. The same person who left your message on read for 3 days somehow found the time, the same day, the same hour, to post on social media, to respond to someone else, to show up online in a dozen different ways, to be present everywhere except in the conversation you were waiting to continue. This is not about how fast someone types. It is about what excites them. It is about what they think about when they wake up and what makes them smile when it pops up on their screen. When someone is truly interested, response time is not something they manage. It is something that happens naturally, compulsively, joyfully. The phone is already in their hand before the notification sound finishes playing. I know how much this one stings, because it is so easy to dismiss. They said sorry, they were just caught up, and maybe they were, once. But when the pattern repeats itself, when you are consistently the one waiting and checking and wondering, it is not an accident. It is information. And that information, as painful as it is a gift. It saves you from investing months or years of emotional energy into someone who is not investing equally in return. It shows you, clearly and without ambiguity, the level of interest you are dealing with. You are not too sensitive for wanting a reply. You are not too needy for noticing the pattern. You are not wrong for feeling unseen. You are simply paying attention. And you are beginning to understand that time is the only currency that cannot be faked. You can fake enthusiasm. You can say all the right things. But you cannot fake consistently and repeatedly making someone a priority over time. That either happens or it does not. So, the next time you find yourself crafting an excuse for why someone has not replied, take a breath. Look at the pattern, not the exception. Look at what they make time for and how they spend the hours when your message is sitting unopened. You deserve someone who cannot wait to hear from you, not someone who needs days to find the time. Marcus Aurelius whispered through time, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." Truth 4. I love you means nothing from someone who hurts you consistently and apologizes repeatedly. Words mean nothing without action. Anyone can say, "I love you." But love without consistency is manipulation, not affection. Anyone can say, "I love you." Sit with that for a moment. It is one of the most widely spoken phrases in the human experience, and also one of the most frequently emptied of meaning. It is said at the start of relationships full of hope. It is said in arguments as a shield. It is said as a way of softening the blow of behavior that contradicts it entirely. Words are easy. They cost nothing. They take a fraction of a second to produce and can be delivered with perfect conviction, regardless of whether they are true. What is hard, what actually costs something, is consistency. Consistency means showing up on Tuesday when there is nothing special happening. It means keeping the promises made in whispers, not just the grand declarations. It means choosing someone actively and deliberately on the ordinary days, not just the days when the relationship feels exciting or when guilt is driving the gesture. Anyone can love you on your best day. The question is, who stays on the difficult ones? Here is where this truth becomes critical. When someone says "I love you" and then repeatedly acts in ways that contradict that claim, What you are experiencing is not love with flaws. What you are experiencing is a manipulation tactic. Now that word, manipulation, sounds intentional, calculated, villainous. But the truth is, much of the manipulation we experience is not deliberate. It is unconscious. People learn that saying the right things preserves the relationship without requiring the effort that would actually make it healthy. They learn that an "I love you" can absorb a multitude of small betrayals. They learn that as long as the words are right, the behavior will be forgiven. And so the cycle continues. Bad behavior followed by a loving phrase, followed by a temporary improvement, followed by the same bad behavior, over and over, endlessly. This is sometimes called the cycle of intermittent reinforcement, and it is one of the most powerful psychological traps a human being can fall into. The unpredictability of warmth and cold, closeness and distance creates a kind of emotional addiction. Your nervous system becomes hooked on the moments of warmth even as the coldness increases. Real love is boring in the best possible way. Real love does not keep you guessing. It does not oscillate between euphoria and doubt. It does not require you to check every interaction for signs of whether today is a good day or a bad one. A partner who loves you consistently might not write you poetry, but they will remember the thing you mentioned once that was important to you. They might not make grand gestures, but they will check in when you said you had a hard day. Their actions make those 3 words redundant because everything they do already says it. So pay attention, not to what people say, but to the pattern of what they do. Do their actions match their words over time? Not perfectly, but consistently, genuinely, as a default way of being. If yes, you have found something rare and real. Hold it. If no, then have the courage to stop letting the words carry more weight than the truth. Because love is not a feeling spoken at the right moment. Love is a choice made, again and again, in the moments when it would be easy not to bother. Seneca warned us, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. Words without understanding are just noise. Truth 5. Their words promised you everything. Their actions showed you the truth. Believe the actions. Between promises, excuses, and explanations, only one thing ever speaks the truth. Behavior. Always believe what people do, not what they say. This is perhaps the most liberating truth of all, and also the one that requires the most courage to accept. Behavior is the only honest language. Everything else, promises, explanations, apologies, intentions, can be shaped and shaded and strategically delivered to produce a specific effect. Language is a tool, and like all tools, it can be used to build or to deceive. Even when someone is not consciously lying to you, they can be unconsciously misleading you with the most sincere-sounding words, because what people say is often more about what they wish were true than what is actually true. But behavior does not lie. Behavior does not have a public relations department. Behavior simply is, accumulated over time, consistent in its patterns, honest in what it reveals about a person's real intentions. Think about someone who has hurt you. Now think back over the entire arc of that relationship. Was there a point, early on, or even in the middle, where the behavior already told you something you were not yet ready to hear? A moment when something felt off, but there was a perfectly reasonable explanation. A time when you thought that is strange, and then spent hours convincing yourself it was not. Most of us have been there. Most of us have watched our instincts raise a quiet alarm and then spent enormous energy turning that alarm off. We do it because we want to believe people. We do it because the story someone tells us is more comfortable than the story their behavior tells us. We do it because accepting the behavioral truth often requires action, and action is scary. If I accept that this person consistently puts their needs above mine, I have to decide what to do about that. If I accept that the pattern of cancellation and excuses is the real answer to the question, do you want to be in my life? Then I have to sit with that grief. That is why this truth hurts, not because it is cruel, but because it demands responsibility. It hands the clarity back to you and says, now that you know, what will you do? Here is how to practice this in real life. Instead of asking yourself, what did they say? Start asking yourself, what do they repeatedly do? Do they repeatedly cancel plans? That is the truth. Do they repeatedly bring up your insecurities in arguments? That is the truth. Do they repeatedly come back after every argument with warmth and remorse? That is the truth. Do they repeatedly show up for the big moments and the small ones? That is the truth. The word repeatedly is crucial. We are not looking for isolated incidents. We are looking for the pattern, the thing that, when you step back far enough, becomes impossible to ignore. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it, nor should you try. Stop asking people to explain themselves and start watching them instead. Stop waiting for the apology that will finally make everything make sense, and start looking at what keeps happening over and over, regardless of the apology. Words can be dressed up in sincerity. Behavior over time always reveals the naked truth. Believe what you see, always. Aristotle left us these words. We are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. And so is betrayal. Here is what I want you to carry away from today. These 5 truths are not here to make you angry at the people who did not show up. They are not here to make you bitter or suspicious or hard. They are here to set you free, free from the constant cycle of explaining and excusing and hoping, free from relationships that drain more than they fill, free from the version of yourself that kept shrinking to fit into spaces that were never built for you. Painful truths do not break you, they wake you, and once you are awake, truly awake, you stop chasing explanations and you start choosing peace. You stop asking, why do they not love me the way I need to be loved? And you start asking, who in my life already does? You start pouring your energy into what is real, what is reciprocal, and what is right. That is not giving up, that is growing up. And it is one of the most powerful choices you will ever make. If this video spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, choose yourself, always. Marcus Aurelius left us with this: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength.